Hello, y'all! Welcome back to another episode of Voicing Artists' Original Characters. Today is an interesting episode because the character that we're working with is going to be no holds barred, completely open and moldable to whatever we desire. So, let's meet the artist that has given us this character to work with today. The artist's name is Miaormoa, and the pronouns are she, her. Now, when I say that this lovely character here is completely and utterly open, I do mean that literally. This character has no universe notes, has no history or backstory to either the world that they live in or themselves. They have no character personality traits that were given to me by the artist. They don't even have a name. It means that we are essentially developing every little bit about this character ourselves. We get to decide her name, her personality, what she's thinking and feeling, what kind of world or universe she lives in, everything under the sun. So, let's take a look at these drawings here and see what I think about these drawings. I think the thing that hits me first and foremost about these drawings is her eyes. And her eyes in each one of these drawings are so expressive. Each one holds a different emotion, holds something where we're trying to read and see what are the words that are being unsaid in her head right now. And I really like that the drawings can do that, bring you straight to the eyes. So let's get into things that I see based on these drawings about this woman's personality. I see a very kind person, a very kind and sincere person who seems very open to learning and to trying about anything and everything. She strikes me as someone who comes into the office maybe a little naive about what exactly she's supposed to do, maybe a little nervous, but will accept anything that's handed to her. Seems like the type of person who, if you told her to go make copies, she would go, okay, and walk to the copy machine and have no idea how to use it, but she's going to try, and she's going to try and use it for the next hour until someone realizes she has no idea what she's doing. That is the energy she gives me. And the reason why it comes out is, again, these facial structures. So this one where she's sitting on some sort of a platform that we don't see in the drawing, and she's looking backwards, and she's got the little nervous cheeks, and she's like, huh? Type of energy. That gives me very, oh, what's going on? Did I not do something right? What do you need me to do? Like a little bit of confused energy, but confused in a positive way. Not confused panicking, not confused and apologizing, just confused as like, oh, okay, my bad, show me what to do, I'll do whatever, right? And that's the energy that I get from this face because the eyes are very wide and open. The face is very loose and soft rather than tensed and feeling sad or emotional or anything like that. And this image where she has a coffee and a snack with a little bag that says thank you in her hands, she's got the little blush, she's giving sort of wide eyes and a tensed eyebrow that's kind of a little right? There's the energy of, oh, I'm sorry, because we've got the tension, and even the lip bite is a little right? You know that this person may be mad at you or they may be upset, and so you're trying to do a gesture of kindness in order to get forgiveness or to reconcile. And that's what this image strikes me as, is someone did something to help her out or was very nice to her because she messed up and she was panicking a little bit, and so this person helped her, and so she's coming back and she's like, I'm sorry that I entirely messed with the paperwork. I got you a coffee and a cookie. Please don't be mad at me, right? That's the energy that this gives, and I love that for her. So I think kind, open, and sincere are all good points here. Now, along with that situation that I just said for the coffee and the cookie, I also think that leads us into a bit of obliviousness and a little bit of clueless. If we go from a Legally Blonde idea where she's genuinely trying to do things and to understand things and to be capable and be good at what she wants to do, there are still some things that she's a little clueless on. And so she makes mistakes and she messes up the copier or accidentally deletes things, and that's exactly where this image or drawing sends me, is the cute, open, I'm trying, but I'm sorry. With that in mind, I also think she's dependable and reliable. She's adaptable and she's flexible. If the situation calls for someone else to take control, and right now you need to adapt to that, you do that. If the situation calls for you to be a leader, you go, okay, I'll give it my best shot. You are very flexible in these kinds of things. I also want to use the word charm. I think she has a lot of charm. Now, she may know she has charm when she's specifically trying to use it. She may also not know she has charm since she's a little clueless. Those types of people who accidentally flirt with everyone, right, are often like, what do you mean? This is just how I am. And I think she has that charm because even when she's doing the little thing with the coffee and the snack to be like, I'm sorry, right? This is charming. This is adorable. This is like, oh, okay, like, all right, fine. That's what charm does to you, is where you're like, okay, and you put on a little smile, right? Even though you don't want to smile. That's what charm does to a person. This one where she's sitting and like, what's going on? I don't understand. That's very charming. There's a lot of little cute quirks that people can have that are like, heh, and it just puts this little soft smile on your face. Charming. And I think this image where she's sitting with this man as well, I think she is using charm. And in this image, she's doing it a bit more in a physical way where she's touching and she's leaning and she's doing these things and she's sort of putting on a pose here. But she's very much charming the viewer. She's charming this man and she's using that charm to her advantage, right? She even did the soft little cute thing where she put her hair behind her ear to just be, oh, I'm sweet and I'm simple and I'm charming. She's got the pout on where she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Can you save me, big strong man? Right? That can be charming to a lot of people. It's playful. So I really like that word for her as well as everything else. With all of that taken together, let's create a neutral line for her and see what we can do. Huh? It was that simple the whole time? Well, what was I doing wrong? The printer wasn't even on. My bad. Oh, I love that for her. Oh my goodness. It's this cute little confidence paired with innocence, paired with the naivety that she has. Confidence but naivety is such a weird mixture, but it creates this cute little charming individual who is like, your naivety becomes compelling. It becomes attractive. It becomes wonderful to have as a person, and to be around that person just makes you want to smile. I love this energy for her. Let's continue going as we go into happy and do something where she is genuinely just excited to like be at this new job and live out this new dream of hers and meet new people. Let's try it for happy. Hi. So, I'm kind of new here. And I don't really know many places in the city to eat, and I was hoping that I could join you guys for lunch. Really? Oh, thank goodness. I was terrified I'd have to be a little loneless loser in the corner for lunch, but I'm glad you guys will take me. So, where are we headed? Oh my goodness. I don't know why she has this energy, but this is the energy I want for her. I can't explain this. This is why I love working with characters where you literally are handed a blank slate and can do whatever you want, because you will be surprised how quickly you just go, this is it. This is what she is. This is who she is now. And this is what we've done for her. And I love it. I love that she is essentially just Legally Blonde. She's genuinely this person who shows up and is like, oh, well, I'm going to work here and I'm going to try hard, but I don't have any friends, so let me go meet those people and see if they want to join me. Cool, let's go to lunch. There's no fear. She has no fear to try anything. She's literally open to absolutely everything, even if that puts her foot in her mouth or a pie in her face sometimes, right? And I love this energy for her. I think it fits so well with her big, bold, written all over her face emotions and facial expressions, and the idea that she's so confident that she can adapt to all these different scenarios and none of them ever really feel overwhelming or out of control or anything like that. I love this. Now, although we love every situation being something she can handle because she sort of takes them in stride, you know, we still gotta go into the other emotions. So we gotta do angry and we gotta do sad. So I'm thinking angry can be a pouty angry. I'm thinking we go suggestive pouty angry because I really want to use this drawing of her with this man because I love pouty stuff. It's so much fun to put a little whine in your voice, but not a whine to where you're throwing a tantrum, a whine to where you are bringing someone into it. It's almost like with your voice, you're doing the little come here tantalizing hands, right? You're kind of like bringing them in, you're dragging them on the line, you're like, no, no, no. It's very hard to explain without doing it visually, but we'll see if we can do it vocally and you can audibly hear what I mean in the voice. So let's try a sort of suggestive pouty anger. Ugh, but I don't want to go in. I mean, Jessica does the job better than I ever could. Can't you just use her today? Yeah, I guess. But I don't want to. I just want to stay here with you. Please. Pretty please. Okay. Fine. I guess I'm headed to work then. Ooh! We love it. We love the pouting. I hope you could hear what I was trying to describe in that dialogue because it's very, very hard to explain. Sometimes these types of emotions and feelings are really difficult to get across in words. So what I was trying to get across was that it's exactly sort of the two words that I used, right? Suggestive, but pouty. It's a bit of a pull. It's a bit of a tantalizing nature. It's a bit of a whine. It's a bit of a pout. It's having a bit more control than someone who is actually throwing a tantrum feels. It's getting out those angry, sort of frustrating emotions of like, no, I don't wanna, right? When you're a child and you're like, I don't wanna do the thing, don't make me do the thing. But it's less of having actual hostility towards the thing you're gonna do and more so looking for somebody else to play into it with you, right? The purpose of that sort of angry pout whine that we just did with that dialogue is not to go, oh, I'm so angry. It's to get the other person that you're with to play into the idea with you, right? It's to get them to say something that you can use. You want them to say, okay, stay with me, right? You want them to give you permission to like stay here and not go to work and not do things. You're looking for them to bounce off of what you're giving them. Almost like improv. You are giving them a open-ended dialogue, a time and a place to jump into the conversation, to give your own input, to keep it going. And that's sort of what improv is, where you are giving something to the other person, and then that other person needs to give you the yes and back, right? So there's a bit of a pout, of a whine, of a meh, in hopes that the other person will play with you a little bit, in hopes that the other person will take this energy and either go, come on, you gotta do the thing, right? They're playing with you in their voice. They're elongating their vowels in their sentences. Or they'll just be like, all right, fine, right? They're still doing it. Regardless of the response, they are still playing with you. And that's what I think this charming sort of pouty frustration anger comes in. Last but not least, let's do sad. Sad is going to be interesting because you could argue that maybe there was a bit of a sadness in the pouty, right? But I think I would rather go with closer to genuine sadness here. I think it's a bit more of a sadness in the idea that maybe she feels a bit unwanted. But I think it has to be tinged with something else. Because as much as she takes everything in stride, even when she makes mistakes, right? There has to be something more than just, no, you can't sit with us, to make her get out of this mindset of, okay, I'll go somewhere else, right? Being the response. So what can we add to that to change it significantly enough that she goes into sadness? I think we go with unwanted shame. I think if we throw in the idea that there is someone maybe belittling or shaming her for also not being able to understand or to do something, or if she tries something and it's wholly misguided and causes fault, right? And rather than being like a dude, you shouldn't have done that, it's a you're an absolute idiot, right? I think that shame tied with unwantedness can bring us that core, ringy sadness that we want. So let's give it a shot.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I... Well, of course, but I just thought... No, I never meant to... I'm sorry, But I didn't... I'm sorry, No. Yes, I know. I understand, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. I'll have it on your desk for tomorrow.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a weird sadness. Oh, shame is an interesting one. To feel so suddenly, like, shameful, and the idea that I had in my head was, she was trying to be like, oh, well, I was trying to help, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do these things. And there's just this person who is like, yeah, you didn't mean to do anything, but you're a fucking idiot. And so you can't even put on, like, a goddamn coffee correctly. And he, like, throws the coffee across the room and, like, calling her names and all sorts of, like, belittling awful things to the point where, like I could have you fired right now and, like, you owe me your job type of thing. So very verbally and physically forceful and intimidating and awful, wanting to, like, squeeze the life out of you, that you get to a point where you're like, I don't have any, I can't say any words. Like, I'm silent here. It's just like a, yes, sir. Okay. Whatever you want, just get almost a bit of fear in the shame and in the sadness, right? But when you're in this stage of you wanted to please this person and you still believe that this person is a good person to you, you would have sadness because you would still see part of it as, like, your own fault. You would still see shame on yourself. And so I think that's where that sort of sadness was ringing from, in that shame and in that fear a little bit. All right, this has been lovely. Thank you to our artist, Miaormoa, to letting us play with her character here. We really got to put her through the ringer and feel her out in all sorts of ways. Make sure you guys go and follow her at all of the links in the description below. She makes beautiful, wonderful 18+ content, and I love her art style and the fact that she was willing to let us play with one of her original characters. So, that is all for today's episode, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!